I'm going to start by saying that I've been trying for the past week or two. You know you have to speak about something and you go to a mirror or whatever, and you think, okay, what do I have to say? And every time I did what I'm about to do, it took me 20 minutes. And that was just the high points. And so I only want to talk for about 5 minutes, and there's so many things I want to say, and I'm going to miss important things, and I'm sorry about that, but I've been working in the homeless population, volunteer-wise, since the late 80s. And during that time, I've had so many experiences and so many, I've learned so much about other people, about myself. And we run the In From the Cold, they have a building now that houses families, but they started in places like this. So it was Central United Church downtown, where they took a gym and made it a home for a night. That's how it started, and it ran like that for 10 years before they actually had the dollars to buy their building. And that program has the people that stand that program. They have, yeah, I'm totally off script already, and it's only on the first page. Sorry. They get picked up at our church at 7:30 in the morning. They're driven downtown. Just think about what you would do if you were on a bus with your backpack that has everything you own. You might have a locker somewhere, but has everything you own. And you get dropped off downtown on a street corner at 7:30 in the morning, and now you have a day. What would you do with that day? Where do you go? Where do you sit? There's so many places now in our society where we don't let people, they can't congregate there, they can't get together. There's more and more businesses that have signs. You have to spend a minimum dollar amount before you're allowed to sit there. There's places, don't get me wrong, there's places where they can go. Imagine that you go to the library. So Memorial Library is a very common place. So you sit down, and then you need to go to the washroom. What do? Do you trust the person beside you to watch your stuff while you go? Or when you get back, is your stuff all going to be gone? Do you take it with you, but then you lose your chair? So now you don't have a place to sit. A place to sit, like, can you imagine? We all talk about we should walk more, but seriously, if you didn't have a desk at all, what would you do? Would you ever consider going to a job interview if you haven't had a shower? But what if you don't have a shower? What if your clothes are dirty? Would you all encounter scenarios where you have to hire people or recommend people, or in your businesses, would you hire somebody that came in and didn't smell good? But maybe they need that job so that they can actually, it's such a complicated issue. And it is why I work with In From the Cold. So these are people in transition. They're people that, the families, a lot of them are ones that have come into town thinking that this is just, they may have come from Rocky Mountain House, they may have come from the Maritimes, but they heard this is the place to come, right? And then they come and there's no places to rent. If there are, they can't afford them. So what we do at the inn is we actually have, on the first Friday of every month, we literally have a team of about, it takes about 30, we've got it set up to take about 30 people, and we actually set up beds and cots in this room. And so when we were looking for a place, and a couple places that wanted to hold this event, it didn't work out. I thought maybe it'd be a nice opportunity for some of you that haven't, don't know about what the inn does, that this is actually the room, that people come, we set up the beds, we set up tables, somebody comes and makes dinner. We have a group of people that do hospitality, and that is, maybe they play cards, maybe they watch a movie, maybe we set up hockey nets and basketballs and stuff. If kids come, it's really active if kids come. Then during the night, I do laundry all night, so I can do 8 or 9 loads of laundry. We get 20 people, I can do 8 or 9 loads. It's ready for them at 6 o'clock in the morning, and somebody comes in and feeds them breakfast, and then we have to, after the bus leaves, somebody We have a team that comes and cleans everything. Everything has to be sanitized. All the laundry has to be done external of this building, and then we do it all over again. And I have to say that on that first Friday, you have no idea how many events happen in Calgary on the first Friday of every month. I know about them, and I'd love to go. But I don't, because when when your family gets together, I don't have a family, but when your family gets together and they're all in the same place and they're having a meal together and you can't be there, that is what it feels like for me when I can't be here on the first Friday. There's just something about it. It becomes family. I encourage our volunteers to look at it that way. And it has its heartbreaking moments when we have a 3-week-old child with their mother that doesn't have a place to stay, or families of 4 or 5 children. To see children with no stability is heartbreaking. But there's good points too. A couple months ago, there's a gentleman that I've known for many, many, many years. No matter where I see him in downtown Calgary or at the DI or here, I get a hug like he's my uncle. And I hadn't seen him for about a year. And he came in with a group of 20 that came on Friday night. And he came straight up to me, gives me this big hug, and he said, I went down to the inn today and asked them if I could please come here tonight because I knew you'd be wondering if I was okay. And I am, and I wanted to just come and tell you that. And those are the rewards. So anyways, that's why we're here today. The $5 gift cards, it's really, how often you're sitting in your house and you just want to go and or at your office, you want to get a cup of coffee, it's hot out, you want something cold. The homeless population there's so many things that we don't even consider them luxuries. We don't think about it. And for them, it's an event. Getting a cup of coffee is an event. And so that's what we use the $5 gift cards for. So no pressure but any ones that we get today, we will be, that's what they'll be used for, is that when we send 20 people away on a Saturday morning, we send them with a lunch. Our lunch usually feeds 2 people, so they all know people that didn't get a place last night to stay. So it'll feed 2 people, and then they get the coffee. They can have a beverage. So yeah, I'm totally off. Hang on. So, I'm Donna McTaggart. My Twitter handle is Donna McT, and I'm very happy to have you guys here today. Great turnout. I've been wanting a Hootsuite topic literally for over 2 years, and poking different places. And I have to say that Jordan is the one that came to me and offered. He said he wanted to talk about something, and it turned out to be Hootsuite, and we're just so excited to have him here. So how many people have not been to a social media breakfast before? Okay, so there's a few of you. So I can tell you right now that during this presentation and during the next hour, you're going to see a lot of people looking down and not seemingly paying attention. That's actually, we encourage it. This is a place where you won't be condemned for using your phone. We're going to ask you to. It's an interesting thing that trending there isn't so much meaning in trending, but the last 4 events that we've had, we've trended in Canada. And what I appreciate from you guys about that is that it takes a lot of sponsors to make this happen. And when you guys talk about the event, you talk about the people that gave of their time, their resources, etc. That benefits them, and so it's a win-win all around. So if you want to go one more, maybe, another one. Our committee, everybody, it takes a lot of people to do this, and you guys know that. We'll maybe skip over that today. I was going to make you guys stand, but I won't today. Here's sponsors that do stuff for us every month. Okay, Matrix gives us equipment. Marketwire does press releases. We've got our website with Full Blast Creative and Inkpot and Tweetwall. Corey comes each time, and we've started having 2 screens. And the Tweetwall, if you haven't had experienced one at your event that you're doing with your own business or in I would strongly encourage to try it. The engagement level when that wall is going, it goes up significantly, and there's something about that. So, curious thing to try. Okay, yeah, you can go past that. Oh, yeah, we'll go past. But these are different places that have sponsored venues and breakfast. So what we do, for those of you that haven't been to one before, what we do is we do not pay for a venue. And so venues are always sponsored. And we always ask for the venue to be able to hold 100 people. And we don't pay our speakers. They give of their time and their knowledge. But we do look for sponsors. So we take $350, covers breakfast and coffee, etc., so that we can keep it free for you guys to attend. So our sponsor for today, and David, if you want to come up now, our sponsor for today, and we're very excited about this, he actually approached us and asked if he would be able to sponsor his rare results. Oh, sorry, this is really short.
Good morning. So yeah, we're Rare. We're a full-service marketing agency here in Calgary, and really the reason we came to Social Media Breakfast is over the summer we decided to provide some social media education for a lot of our clients, and we actually opened that up to the whole business community. And so over the summer we're running this social media summer school. I've actually brought some of our little brochures. They're on the back table. And essentially it's free, it's $10, but that covers lunch basically. So Worst has generously allowed us to use their space. So we're in Worst every Wednesday at noon. And it's really just a quick lunch and learn. It's about 45 minutes. Our goal is really for businesses to be able to just walk out of that with a bit of a social media strategy. How do you get out there and actually engage with your audience, find who your audience is, find great content to share with them, curate good content, etc. So really hoping that a lot of businesses come out. We've already got about 25 signed up coming on a regular basis, which is more than we even expected. But now that we have Worst, we've got tons of space. So what better place than Social Media Breakfast to come out and ask you to help us share the word that this is happening over the summer. Social Media Summer School, all the sort of social media powerhouses in the room right here, tweeting it out and whatnot. So we appreciate that from you guys. And yeah, have a good session. We're going to just keep it short and sweet that way. Thank you.
Well, no, thank you. A round of applause for Rare Christian. Okay. So this is where I'm going to say, this is videotaped, so it's kind of embarrassing, but I can tell you that in my notes, I completely forgot to put Jordan's bio. And so I'm going to tell you what I know, and then I'm going to let Jordan say a few things about what you did with Hootsuite. So how our conversation started with Hootsuite is that Jordan does, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Jordan is, after we're done Social Media Breakfast in the next couple weeks, I'm going to be finding out more about what he does. It's of interest to me, educating people about safety online. And so hence his Twitter handle is SMByyc. And so we were talking about that and I brought up Hootsuite and found out that Jordan had actually spent time writing curriculum at Hootsuite's office in Vancouver. And so we right away pursued that we could actually put together a presentation like today. So Jordan, if you want to come up, I'll get out of your way. And we're really grateful for you to be here today. Yes, thanks, guys. Okay.
Test, test. All right. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone feeling? It's pretty good. Everyone have their caffeine this morning? Hopefully, okay. I need to start off by making a confession. 2 years ago, I was doing something that I regret. Something that I'm not particularly proud of, something that in many ways I wished no one would ever know. 2 years ago, I was not using Hootsuite. Shocking, I know. There's 3 reasons why I regret that. Number 1, I spent copious amounts of time managing social media for clients and myself, leaving very little time for strategy and brainstorming. Number 2, I had no way to prove to my superior at the time that any of my efforts on social media were having an effect. 3, I would have 15 tabs open on my browser, my computer would slow down and occasionally I experienced the rainbow wheel of death. The Mac users in the audience will know what I'm talking about. It's those same 3 reasons that I'm here today. I'd like you to leave here today with the ability to save time, be able to tell if your efforts on social media are effective, and do all of that with only 1 tab open, maybe 2. The tool that accomplishes those tasks most effectively, in my opinion, is Hootsuite. Now you might be thinking, Jordan, you worked at Hootsuite, your opinion is biased. You're absolutely correct. Last summer I had the opportunity to work for the most exciting company in North America, in my opinion, Hootsuite. The time I spent there truly shaped my ideas on the power of social media and where social is heading in the future. I got to witness firsthand teams of very brilliant people working together for the common goal of creating the most effective social media relationship platform on the market. During my time at Hootsuite, I helped to grow the higher education program, which arms professors with industry-leading tools for teaching social media by 350%. When I arrived, there were only 150 university courses enrolled, mainly from Canada. When I left, there were over 500 from around the world. One of Hootsuite's core values is education. It's why every single employee has to take Hootsuite University courses and become Hootsuite certified before their first day. It's why they've introduced programs like the one I facilitated to educate the public. So before I begin to show you my favorite Hootsuite tools, I'd like to ask you a question. If you're brave enough to throw your hand up, I have, where'd they go? Some very sleek Hootsuite notepads. Yeah. My question is, what are you hoping to get out of today's session? Notepad. All right. What else would you like to get out? Anyone, don't be afraid. Free pro membership? Okay. I'm not going to say whether or not that's going to happen. Thank you, sir. Who else? Yeah. Yeah, totally. One of the more common ones I hear from people, and that is something we'll cover today. Yeah.
I just want to become a little more than an advanced user. I use Hootsuite, maybe I'm not using enough of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this talk definitely is going to be geared towards people who are relatively newer to Hootsuite, but hopefully there will be some things that you can pick up. It'll be a little bit higher level. Oh, yeah, there's one more thing I want to do, and that is to take a giant group selfie. I don't know how this is going to be possible, so I'm going to go over into this corner, and we're going to try and take a giant group selfie. Cover your face if you don't want to be in the giant group selfie. All right, is everyone ready? All right.
Thank you.
I'll tag all of you, yeah. All right, let me just tweet that out. All right. So I'd like to show you a video now that will hopefully assist individuals in the audience who are not familiar with Hootsuite understand how brands are using Hootsuite to their advantage.
At the NHL, we manage 6 social media platforms. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, Foursquare, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, you name it, we're probably on it. On a daily basis, though, we would send about 90 tweets, and that's not including fan interactions. Our community as a total reaches about 6.5 million people, so we're growing every day.
We use Hootsuite as a way to monitor what our fans are talking about, what type of content is resonating with them, and be able to make editorial decisions on bubbling up that content that is doing well across social, and so fans that are coming to our site can also consume that content.
Social has really changed the way in which we've communicated with fans. It's changed the way in which we hear fan feedback. It's changed the way in which we understand what fans want, what they need from our products, from our content, from the league in general. It's really become a great two-way communication tool for us.
With multiple team members, Hootsuite really helps us schedule our tweets, and so we know what's going out when it's going out in case we need to move anything around, and just so we know who sent that out, when they're doing it. That's just really helpful.
The constant feedback in near real time and being able to kind of navigate through the jungle of comments and social media that's out there. It's kind of ever growing, and tools like Hootsuite help us navigate through that.
What we sell is emotion every night. I mean, social can be the accelerant that helps you launch campaigns and create conversations, drive awareness in and around our games, our events, and our products. I think it was the famous Peter Drucker who once said, what is the purpose of a business? And it's to create a customer. And in our instance, the business that we're in is to create a fan. And I think social can be an amazingly powerful tool to do that.
So as you can see in the video, the NHL uses Hootsuite to communicate with their fans, schedule content, work in teams, and analyze their efforts. Now I failed to mention at the beginning, but I will be doing a live demo of everything that I talk about today, and I also have an exciting surprise at the end for everyone who attended today's presentation. So please stay tuned for that. Let's take a look now at the dashboard. You actually can see it pretty well, so that's good. So as you can see, everything in one place. I have 9 tabs set up, starting with personal Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. A brand I manage called Uncollege, they're Facebook and Twitter. I have my own Digisona, which is the social media education company that I'm just starting. Instagram contest for a client, where I'm monitoring the hashtag on Instagram, It's Always Summer. I can also engage with people with that tab. And then an RSS feed with some of my favorite websites, TechCrunch, Social Media Examiner, Mashable, and Inc. And notice only one tab. I effectively manage all of my accounts as well as clients on one tab in one convenient dashboard. One of my favorite things about Hootsuite is the ability to listen. It's a task that is critical for business to succeed in the social society that we now live in. I'd like to use the example of Twitter. Here you can see how I've set up streams to be able to listen to the most important conversations that I can potentially engage with. First, I have a search stream on the hashtag SMByyc. This continually updates me on anyone using that hashtag. You can see it's effortless to engage with others on Twitter and any social network through Hootsuite. You can see here, you can reply, retweet, direct message, and if you hit the little arrow there, you can also favorite. And just yesterday, Hootsuite released a new feature called Easy Share. Did anyone hear about that? No? Okay. This feature allows you to send social posts by email in order to effectively leverage the social media presence of your peers and amplify content to reach a wider audience. Actually, it was born out of the fact that everyone at Hootsuite, whenever they send out a press release or a new feature update, they have to email each other saying, support this tweet, and then they give basically a formatted tweet that everyone uses. So now they can just grab a tweet that's already out, it populates it into an email with the heading, help me share this content. You can then click on the link in the email, and it'll load in your Hootsuite with that tweet pre-populated. So it's a really great tool for amplifying your message. In the second stream, I have what's called a geocoded search. Essentially, I can enter a keyword. The example here is social media. Choose the location I'm currently in, or another one that I'll see, and I'll see posts from anyone in that specific area who mentions those keywords. This would be great, obviously, for anyone who has a business, who's looking to engage in a conversation where people are talking about whether it's a service or a product. People will often be having conversations, and if you can figure out the keywords that people might be using, you can then figure out who in your local area is talking about that specific thing. I then have all my standard home feed, sent tweets, scheduled mentions, and direct messages streams in this one tab. To recap, it's extremely easy to listen with Hootsuite and engage with an audience that you may be missing out on at the moment. One of the biggest time-saving features of Hootsuite is the ability to schedule posts. You can do this for any network, and you even have the option to bulk schedule, which I know some of the people here are familiar with. Using an Excel template, you can schedule up to 350 posts at a time. Now, I typically don't schedule that many posts in advance, but I know a lot of brands that do. They use bulk scheduling mainly for posts about services they offer or ongoing discounts and deals. For posts that are in the moment, though, such as news or new offers and promotions, you may want to consider auto-schedule. Auto-schedule is an algorithm that uses a combination of your activity and your followers' activity by looking at your personal history to determine sharing patterns from your past and post content accordingly, whilst also looking at your followers' feedback. I found this feature to be highly effective for getting the most engagement possible out of every important thing I post. And if you'd prefer to set a specific time, easy to do as well. You just select the day, the time. You can even have Hootsuite email you when the message is sent, and you just hit schedule. You can easily manage your scheduled posts in the Publisher tab, which is just a little paper airplane there. It's there that you can make edits to the message or fix typos, as well as change the time of day your message is scheduled to go out. Scheduling content on Hootsuite is simple and can save you a ton of time. I'd also like to point out a couple features that can be seen in the screenshot. When you begin to create a message, all of your social networks appear on the left-hand side. You can select one or all, depends on the message. Little paper clip for adding an attachment, like an image. Little pin for adding your location. So basically, using Hootsuite's scheduling feature will absolutely save you time and energy when managing your social media. So one of the most important elements, obviously, of social media is content sourcing. I hear it all the time, Jordan, this is all great, but what do I post? Well, that Hootsuite's suggested feature, it's now effortless to find great content. This new beta feature allows you to enter up to 3 keywords, for example, marketing, social media, and business. Select the social network you wish to post to, and Hootsuite automatically generates suggestions for posts. From there, you can either select the suggested post, right there, and have it replaced. Sometimes you'll find the posts are a bit odd. I think they're beta testing, it's still new. Or, if you like it, you can select it and hit schedule. If you click on the shortened link, it will take you to the article in order for you to read through it and evaluate its relevance. Despite this being a new feature, it's absolutely one of my favorites. Of course, I do still source my content from other places, but this feature allows me to save a ton of time when I need to quickly schedule posts for the day based on specific keywords. So again, once you schedule the post, you just click on scheduled. You'll see a big list of all the ones you've scheduled. You can basically go in there and edit them if you need to. So again, with Hootsuite, the suggested feature, you can save a ton of time sourcing your content and finding relevant articles for your network. So the ability to measure your social media efforts is valuable, obviously, for two reasons. One, it allows you to showcase your hard work and prove that your efforts are making an impact. And two, it allows you to adapt your strategy by seeing what's working and what's not working. The example I'd like to show you is the Twitter profile overview report. This shows me follower growth and my most popular links. The reason I love this report is because I can prove that the following is continuing to grow. It's always a good sign. And I can tell which pieces of content are receiving the most engagement, which helps me to plan for the future. I can tell that a number of individuals who follow this uncollege love to read. This information will help me going forward in terms of what I could post that will receive a large amount of engagement. You can see on the left-hand side all of the reports that are available. Includes Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google Analytics, if you're familiar with Google Analytics, and then also Owly's click summary, again, so you can track those shortened links that you're putting into your post. And some of you might be aware that Facebook offers insights on their business pages. I do also reference their insights, but Facebook does not allow me to export any of those reports, whereas Hootsuite does allow that. So I can throw it into a PDF, which makes it really easy for exporting, sending in an email. So Hootsuite allows you access to 3 basic reports with a free account and 3 enhanced reports with a pro account. Additional reports need to be purchased, but once you've created a report, it will continue to update. So there's no need to purchase a report more than once. And I made that mistake the first time. I had like 15 reports and they were all the same. Anyways, Hootsuite's analytics allows you to measure your social media efforts. This gives you the ability to showcase results to others, as well as adapt your strategy going forward to increase the overall effectiveness. So now I'd like to go through a live demo. And the thing I tell people about Hootsuite is the only way you're going to learn how to use Hootsuite, obviously, is to actually use Hootsuite. I recommend that to everyone here today. Hopefully I've shown you, and I will show you, some features that you'll be able to, that will help you in your social media efforts, but do try and use Hootsuite as much as you can to become a pro. And this live demo will give you the opportunity to see me use Hootsuite in real time, which I hope, again, will assist you when using the platform. So again, if you're already familiar with Hootsuite, you'll probably know most of this, but again, hopefully I'll show you a couple things you haven't seen before. So starting on the far left, oh, we're off the grid here. Not better, yeah. So starting with basically the account. This is where you're going to add social networks. You only log in once, and then you never have to log in again. This makes it really easy. And again, you can log into different business pages, like more than one. Go to the Streams tab. So again, starting with my Twitter. To add streams, well, I guess I'll start. To add tabs, this little plus button on the far right. Add streams right up here. Or add a new social network. So now, within the stream, again, if you hover over the tweet or whatever the post, you can reply, retweet, direct message, or favorite. Here's the send to email feature. This is where it says, help me amplify on social. Oh, sorry. Then once I send this, if anyone clicks on this, it'll populate it in their Hootsuite. So again, it makes it really easy to share updates with your network. I'll quickly show you the Instagram contest. This is using an app from Hootsuite. Oh. Give me 1 second here. Where's Donna? Oh, can we get the password here for the Wi-Fi? It logged me off.
That's okay.
It's VCC, BVCC.
I know.
Okay.
710-36. Can I just say, sorry, the church, we don't have access to the church Wi-Fi, so I literally have a hub that lets 10 people get on, and that's it. So sorry, I'm very sorry. You're testing me. Okay, 715. 710 36.
No lip reading.
36.
Yeah. Did it let you on?
That's not letting me It didn't work, no. Just give me 1 second here while we get the Wi-Fi figured out. Yeah. Oh, it dropped. Okay. Like a while ago? Maybe 2 minutes ago. Okay. Does it usually come back? Okay. Usually. The live demo does depend on the internet. I know. I'm doing the same thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was just thinking I can probably just throw it on a hotspot. All right. Yeah. Should be back up. Do you remember the password? Sorry. Can you give me the password one more time? Yeah. 710. Yeah. No.
Oh, you're logging onto the wrong one. That's
Okay.
why. It's the R card.
Oh. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. So one thing I'll show you again is when I add a stream, if you want to do the search stream, click on search, select the network, then enter your search criteria. So we'll do hashtag SMByyc 54. It'll add that stream. So obviously anyone mentioning it will come up. Then again, we'll do a geotag search. So we'll do ice cream. Someone likes ice cream, okay. We'll geotag that to our location. All right, well, it's having trouble getting our location, probably Wi-Fi related. But anyways, this little button down here, it's how you grab your location. And then again, anyone who mentions those keywords, they also give you a lot of great examples in terms of, you can even do things like people talking about unicorns with a positive attitude. I don't know why you would want that, but you never know. People talking about fails with a negative attitude. So anyways, that's the search there. You can also do keywords. So I'm going into the Publisher tab. That's where you're going to find this new suggested feature. So if I click on it, it's going to populate it right now, but I'll just wait a second and I'll show you how you put in the keywords. So if you go to the top right into Settings, here's where you choose the 3 keywords, the network you want to post to, and then if you want, you can receive an email when the queue is empty, hit Review Suggestions, and then populates the content. So again, from there, you can go into each post, you can edit it, you can add hashtags, you can check the link out. If you like it, just select it, hit schedule. If you don't, hit replace. It'll throw in a new one. That's a weird one. Once it's scheduled, they will all show up in the scheduled tab. The next tab is Analytics. That's where you're going to find all your reports. So here's some that I've already created. Again, you can see that I was not aware that you only had to create one. What's cool is they're interactive. So you can really go in and again, really see on specific days when you're following jumped or whatever. And then because of those shortened links, which are in the compose message box, just add a regular size link, hit shrink. That shrinks the link, which also makes it trackable. So again, you can tell which content is popular and which content is not popular.
Does it show you the times that there's an increase in traffic?
Like the times
Of the day?
for something like Facebook, it would. Yeah, I'll show you in the Facebook Insights for Uncollege. And Facebook also has Insights, which some people will be familiar with. So within this report, you can see that this was the most engaging. And I believe if you click on it, well, it'll actually take you to the post, which you can then check the time. I know that, it doesn't have it in this one. I know that on Facebook, for their insights, it gives you really in-depth like time frame of when people were on it. This is kind of cool. Contacts. If you select your network, you can see people following you and people who you follow. You can then go through, see their last or most recent message. You can also check their clout score, follow them. I find this really handy for just sort of checking up on sort of who's following me. And then if I want to engage with them, again, when you can see their clout score, you can tell if they're an influencer or not, which can help for reaching out. Then there's the app directory. Maybe. Well, in app directory, there we go. Basically, there's all the main apps are free. So Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr. This is where you can add those specific things like MailChimp, WordPress. This is what I was using for the RSS feed, Hootsuite Syndicator. There's also premium apps. Premium apps do cost basically kind of per month, like 99 cents or $4.99. That's where you find all the apps there. One thing I'll show you in settings, if you are going to be using the auto schedule feature, it's important for Hootsuite to know obviously like how many posts you want to be auto scheduling. If you go into settings, go down to auto schedule. That's where you can decide how many messages per day between what times, and then which days specifically, and you just select them on or off. So again, the compose message bar at the top, that's where you put in your message, obviously. Shorten the link, which makes it trackable. You can add your location. Let's see if it'll do it. No. One thing I like to do in my mentions is use this little down arrow, click filter by. I can then either do a keyword or I can do by cloud score. So this immediately shows me, people who mentioned me and their cloud score. So again, when it comes to engaging with people who maybe are more influential, it's a really great little tidbit there. If you look at the little magnifying glass in the top right, if you click on that, you'll see what's trending on Twitter. You can also do a search right here. And then for enterprise clients, which there's probably not many in this room, but there's conversations. So basically, when you're working with a bigger team and you'll have different departments, marketing or customer service, you can basically assign certain messages. So if a customer asks about a certain product, you can then assign that to a specific team member, and then they know that they should be addressing that specific question, so that there's no like double up of like 5 people answering one person at the same time. And again, the RSS feed, one of my favorite things, just in terms of, again, sourcing content without using the scheduler tool. So I just add whatever my favorite website is. You can then go in, read the article, go to the article if you want to. If you like that article, it's really easy to post that article on Hootsuite. And then again, you see the auto schedule feature there. So, yeah. Now I said there'd be a surprise at the end because I greatly appreciate the fact that you've all decided to come today. And if I go back here. So I've arranged with Hootsuite for everyone who attended today to get free 60 days of Pro for free. So if you're new to Hootsuite, you'll be able to take full advantage of all the features I talked about today. And if you're an existing Hootsuite account holder, like a free account, you'll be upgraded for 2 months. So I'll have some sheets probably on that table there. One for if you do not have a Hootsuite account yet, and one for if you have a free account. So just make sure you put your name and email on there. And basically, I will open it up to questions. Say that again. What if you have a paid Hootsuite account? I believe I can't apply the discount to that, but I will try, because that's something that I didn't get to talk about.
I was going through the dashboard as well, and the promo 30 days free came up there. So how would, I guess, sell me on getting a paid account then? Yeah. Is that something obviously you would probably recommend with the bias, of course? Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't work there anymore, so I don't really care. I do think there's a lot of great features with the Pro account. You're allowed to have more social networks connected, so I believe it's only 3 with a basic account, and then I think up to 15. Yeah. Up to 15 with the paid account. You also get enhanced reports, so those reports will look a lot better with the Pro account. You get access to Hootsuite University, which is really great. I didn't actually show that, but in Tools, there's a little bar that says Hootsuite University. And again, those are the courses that we helped professors integrate into their curriculums. Basically, that sort of gives you a full encompassing 101 how to use Hootsuite and takes you through it. So that's, I would say, another pretty good bonus. Yeah.
What are benefits to using
Like just the Twitter client app, yeah.
Just for mobile.
Yeah, so her question was, is it valuable to use the Hootsuite app versus just the Twitter app on your phone? I would say it depends how many other networks you have. I definitely find that if you are managing a few different networks, it's probably more valuable to use the Hootsuite app. And they're relatively the same in the way they go about it. Yeah.
So a question between how Twitter embeds objects onto the timeline, whether Hootsuite can do that as well. If I do a post on, say like a YouTube video on Twitter, off the Twitter website, I post a link and the video is embedded right into the timeline and it can be clicked to view right from there. Can I do the same thing with Hootsuite?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And not with Twitter, but with Facebook and Google Plus and any other like more visual platform, it will actually generate a preview for you, and then you'll be able to see it first before you post. Twitter, it doesn't do that yet, but yeah. So yeah, absolutely you can. Yeah.
Compared to other scheduling, pieces of web-based software, so for example, Buffer, I mean, that's probably a main competitor for you guys. Why would you choose Hootsuite over another scheduling app?
Yeah, so to be honest with you, I'm not that familiar with Buffer app. My specialty has been with Hootsuite, but I mean, I think there's merits to both. I think Buffer, I think they have strong timings for when to post, so they recommend really great times to post. Other than that, I know that Hootsuite is a preferred partner for all the big app people, so Google, Facebook, Twitter, all of those prefer to use Hootsuite. It is also a Canadian company, but yeah. Buffer is just another San Francisco, clone of whatever. Yeah.
I noticed that some brands like Amazon and Etsy use a vanity shortened URL shortener.
Absolutely.
Is that something that the Pro Hootsuite account, if I have my own short URL, can I use that with Hootsuite?
With a Pro account, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the question was, can you use vanity URLs? So basically, instead of the Owly shortener with those little shortened links, it will actually be like your domain, so shortened. But yeah.
Jordan, can I just interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
So, you guys, if I'm going to give you a couple minutes to think about more questions. We're happy to take more questions. I think now a few you might have to start leaving, and we want to make sure that everybody's here for the draw. So, Jordan, do you want to pick a number? And we'll just we'll do 2 draws. Laura, do you want to say what the first one is?
The first prize is donated by Wildrose Rose Brewery, and it's a party pig. So basically, their little keg or growler that they have, and you can go in there and get whatever kind of beer you want.
And do you get to keep the cake?
I don't think so, but you can get it refilled with more beer.
Cool. Okay.
So
That's still pretty sweet. All right. Everyone have their tickets ready? 573001.
Is it you? Okay. Just so you know, you don't have to come for. Laura doesn't have it here today, so we're going to get it to you, okay? So Laura and you can connect and we can do that, okay? So if you want to pick another number, and we just have a $50 gift certificate for Moxie's.
572980. A lot of groans.
Anyone?
572980.
Is it you, Brad? All right. Woo!
There we go.
Okay, there you go.
Thanks, Donna.
Oh, my pleasure. Okay, so if you want to,
I'll stick around too. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, so our next event is, so I'm just going to say a couple of things and then you guys can keep asking questions. Our next event, one of the things I missed saying before, but I'm assuming you all caught on to this, is that our hashtag is SMByyc54. If you guys want to post any pictures that you've taken today or whatever to Instagram, if you tag it with at SMByyc, it'll catch in our stream. And these are the Twitter handles for sponsors today. So if you want to leave it on there, our next event is not the last Friday, it's the second last Friday in August. August, I think, is a 5-Friday month, and the last one's on the long weekend. So we're going to do it on August 22nd, and it's going to be a total surprise to me too, where we will be or what we will be talking about. So we'll get that information out at some point. And I'm going to say one more thing. If any of you did not get it, how many registered for a press release but did not get one this month? Was there anybody? So what I learned, and I was actually setting up Castle classes, and this one even caught me by surprise, was that Market Wired has their own opt-in. So even if you didn't opt into Market Wired's opt-in, you didn't get our press release because they send it out. So it's all a bit of a confusion right now, so I don't know what we're going to do about that, but we're not going to worry about it today. But if you didn't get one and expected to, that's what happened. So, excuse me? Oh, yeah. And I know there's one more thing, and as soon as I give this mic away, I'll think of it. Anyways, thank you for coming, and we can. I'll give it over to Jordan after he stops answering questions with the mic. Feel free to come up to him. We don't have to be out of this gym at any particular time, so feel free to come up and ask questions, etc. Okay, and thank you so much to Rare. Let's just do one more applause to Rare for sponsoring today. Really appreciate it, Brad. Thank you. Make sure to check out the social media. How can I forget that? Summer school, right? Is that what it's called? Summer school, okay. And big round for Jordan. We really appreciate you being here, and I'm going to give this back to you. You did awesome, man.
Thank you. Does anyone have any more questions? Yeah.
Maybe you can expand on this because it's kind of a neat story. As I remembered, I heard the founder or senior exec about 2 years ago down at the convention center when we were in the midst of the Arab Spring, and Hootsuite apparently played a major role in that, which was kind of cool because a Canadian company was helping to overthrow dictators and despots.
Yeah, so it totally did happen. What happened was they blocked Twitter, Facebook, and all those in those countries, and they didn't know about Hootsuite. So I think some people actually reached out to some of these protesters and different people on Hootsuite and said, hey, by the way, you can use our platform and bypass these firewalls, and it absolutely did help in the Arab Spring. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, and sorry, can you repeat that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And have you added it as an attachment? That might be a glitch, honestly, in what they are doing. I do know that, yeah, and obviously there's others that have had this issue. I know that I do typically use the Twitter client for uploading photos, and they allow filters too. But I know if it's something that's important, and obviously it is, submit that to Hootsuite, and they literally actively take suggestions, and a lot of the times, especially if it's something simple, not that simple, but relatively simple, they'll fix that relatively quickly. But yeah. Yeah.
What do you find useful when you step back from a user standpoint with the tool for like doing research? Like, what do you find are some like sweet spots that you really enjoy the app for?
And what kind of research?
I've only used it a little bit, but it seems to me that using the streams, there's certainly useful ways of competitive research, for example, looking at competitive businesses.
Yeah, so one thing I see a lot of individuals do is they'll create a list of their competitors, and then they'll add that as a stream. So then they can just continually monitor everything that their competitors are talking about. But I would say the geocoded search is one of the best ways I've found for sort of researching or finding new conversations or content, and as well as the keyword search. And again, you can set up unlimited amounts of those, so you can really have your finger in sort of whatever pie you want.
What do you say was the best app for the Instagram game, or contest, sorry?
Yeah, so I'm using something called Statagram. Yeah, and or now it's called Iconosquare. I don't know, they rebranded. But yeah, it's they have a great web interface that really shows you all the all the Instagram posts that are going on. You can monitor hashtags. You can engage with all of those posts from within Iconosquare, and then you can also do that through the Hootsuite app. And I believe Iconosquare though is a premium app for Hootsuite, so you do have to pay like $4.99 per month or something to use it. You could just use it for the duration of the contest. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it so far. Yeah. Any other questions? And feel free to come up at the end if you don't feel comfortable asking in the group scenario. But yeah. All right. Well, if that's all, then I hope everyone has an amazing afternoon. If you're heading down to the Calgary Folk Festival, which I believe I saw on Twitter some people are doing, enjoy the Calgary Folk Festival. And thanks again. Have a great afternoon.